Sabrina. How's it going? Ugh. Sorry if I sound a little sick or anything like that. My throat's been kinda... I'm feeling a little weird, but hopefully that doesn't interfere with the stream. So anyways, let me just pull up Photoshop. I'm having a hard time picking between what to work on. So I think we're going to be bouncing back and forth. So I got this commission that I started a long time ago and I have to finish. But I also have this commission that I have to color for a project. Just like these character designs, which are pretty cool. And I kind of have to like move things around. And this one I don't really have to finish coloring. I just have to color in the magic effects. Everything else can be, you know, grayscale. This definitely has to be finished. But I'll keep working more on this one for now. And yeah. So for this one, this particular one, it's kind of like the character is kind of like this girl. And the client requested that she be concepted with like a kind of a Italian Carnivale kind of like look, you know? So all of her eyes are like they're vacant, like she's wearing a mask in each one of these, and like her skin is covered up. So being very reminiscent of that, I'm gonna have to go with that theme. Let me pull this up. Here's a previous like one I did of this character. And again, that kind of like a Carnivale kind of look. This is her in like a fencing type of outfit. And you know, quick concepts. Hey Tempered Blade. Hey Michelle. Watching with no sound, that's okay. Oh, Tempered Blade. I'm gonna email you, Tempered Blade. I just remembered by looking at your name. I'm sorry about that. Excuse me about that. Ugh. It's a busy weekend. But I am going to email you that. I actually started to keep working on that sketch, so I'm going to email you both of them because I feel really bad making you wait that long. So, sorry about that. Hey, Faya. Thanks, Rieth. I hope you guys are doing alright. Sorry I didn't get to stream Monday, and Tuesday I wanted to make up for it to stream, but I actually had family coming in from New York. I actually got the dates wrong, and they came in Tuesday. So, you know, I got some family visiting, which is nice. I mean, I live in California, so New York is like, you know, all the way across the other side of the country. So, yeah, it's nice. It's nice to reconnect. I don't go to New York as often as I used to. But, yeah. So there's that. I'm going to continue with these ones for now just because it's in the sketch phase, so. I feel like sketches are easy for people to follow. Especially for people who don't draw, I don't know. Like, me personally, my favorite process is the sketching process, too. I mean, just by watching another artist, right? If I had to watch another artist work, I'd be more interested in the sketch phase than any other, even though I should be watching how other artists, like, finish their art, you know? So, you know. There's that. And thanks, Tempered Blade. I appreciate it. Next week, I think my schedule's gonna be a little weird too, but I'm trying to, like, I got like a dentist thing, I got a doctor's thing. I scheduled those all like in the morning, but one's like at around 1, it got bumped up, so hopefully that doesn't seep into my streaming schedule. The doctors that I use, they live pretty far away from me. So it's like a 40-minute drive without traffic. So, yeah. Anyways. How's everyone doing? It's been, I haven't seen you guys since Friday the 13th. That was awesome. I want to finish painting those creepy designs, but for now, I gotta get back to work. I actually made a better Twitch TV emote for this channel, but it's too small. So, wait, let me see if I got it here. It's too small though, I gotta resize it, but that was my first attempt at a little emote. Now I'm just like, oh shit, the canvas is a lot smaller than I thought. If you're actually watching this on a bigger screen, you could probably see it. But for me, with my computer screen, it's really small. But I want to make a bunch more of them, you know, and try to make cool ones. So if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. All I can think of now is a freaking Twitch that said, well, Twitch. All I can think of is like a emote that says draw. I want to make an emote that says rant, because apparently I go on a ton of those sometimes. And I want to make one that's just a bowl of ramen. Other than that, I have no idea what else that can help contribute to my channel. Or anyone else's, for that matter. So if you guys have any ideas for emotes, please let me know. Anything that reminds you of this particular channel, go right ahead. And I'll see if I agree or not. Yeah? So is the convo. Thanks, Tempered Blade. Yeah, I get super passionate about Silent Hill. If you guys want to hear more about Silent Hill, I can recommend, this channel doesn't make videos anymore, but Twin Perfect on YouTube. They actually make a really, you know, good argument on certain things about Silent Hill. But, you know, I recommend it for the diehard Silent Hill fans, because I don't think people who aren't in Silent Hill can listen to all that. There's a lot of nuance. Emotes, yeah, woo! I want to make more, Faya. You started to redo your creepy character? Hey. Well, okay. Sorry, Sabrina. I know your internet is always giving you a tough time, so it means a lot to me that you come out at all. So, sorry about that. Yeah, I didn't make that Miku, though. I saw that on Better Twitch TV, and I was like, oh, shit! So I didn't make the Miku dancing. I want to make, like, something like that, just like, I don't know, something dancing. That'd be cute. But for now, that's all I got. So I figure a bowl of ramen would be good, because I'm always thinking about ramen. I got my tea. I don't know. Oh, I also beat The Last Guardian on Sunday. It was either, no, Sunday or Monday. One of those. And that was, I had a lot of mixed feelings about The Last Guardian up until when I beat it. I don't want to spoil too much about it, but I will say this. The controls definitely could have used, in my opinion, a hell of a lot of work. I don't know anything about programming. I don't know what they could have done to make them more smoother, but there are some parts where the controls were just so sticky that it really cut my immersion of it, you know? Compared to like Ico and Shadow of the Colossus, where nothing really interfered me from the atmosphere and storytelling of the game, this one I felt like a couple of things were a little unfair. Like, things just didn't feel proper. I don't know. If you guys ever played the game, maybe you'll see what I'm talking about. But I will say this, the story, the ending, makes up for it all by a long shot. So, I really want to talk about The Last Guardian, but, I don't know, is anyone here a fan of, Ueda games? Freaking, or like, I guess, I don't know, someone in Japan? Does anyone here like Ico, or Ico, however it's called? I always thought it was called Ico. It could be completely wrong, though. No one ever says the kid's name, so yeah. Hey, Aaron Chris. How's it going? Hey, Pokemio. By the way, Aaron Chris, I'm working on edits for the background of your commission, so just giving you a heads up. Just reworking that. It shouldn't take much longer. You'll see what I mean once I send it to you. I just don't want you to think I forgot about it. For anyone joining in, I'm working on I have to work on magical effects and character concepts for this project. I don't know the name of it. I'm not sure, but it has a pretty unique design so far. You know, I didn't come up with the design of the characters, so I'm kind of just working off the template. Not the template. I'm working off the designs they gave me, but I always like the Carnivale look. It's really creepy, to me at least. I don't think they're going for creepy though. But I do kind of like the little chibi kind of style with the head a little bigger. and the body's kind of normal proportioned. So, yeah. I love how the plot is designed. It's just so frustrating having it so open-ended, though. Plus, they rushed Fumito. Did they rush it? Dang, that thing had like almost 10 years of development. Maybe they did rush it. Absolutely love Shadow Colossus and The Last Guardian. Never played any of them. Hear good things. I will say The Last Guardian is a lot more like Ico compared to Shadow of the Colossus, though. So, the best things about those games is how the plot is being told, right? Like, it's one of those games that doesn't think you're stupid. I mean, the thing I don't like about The Last Guardian is they always show control prompts, but they don't show you what to do with them. So sometimes I'll just be like sitting there and I'll be just like by a barrel and I'm just trying to think of what to do, and the prompt will be like, press this to pick up the barrel, and it's just like, geez, I don't need that. You already showed me how to do this in the beginning of the game. It's like, I can figure it out. None of the other games had to do that. I think they were kind of afraid that this new decade of gamers, if they were not being spoon-fed what to do, they won't get it. Which is kind of true, but at the same time, I still think they should have stuck to their guns and did it like... I don't know if that's the reason why they did this, the control prompts all the time. That's the only thing that felt uncharacteristic about those games. They were always this... If you ever played something like Limbo or Inside or Ico or any of those other ones, they don't really tell you how to play the game. You gotta figure it out on your own, which is nice, so... That's like a small... To me, the nitpick for that game is the controls. Actually, the controls is a genuine complaint, but everything else is spot on. Level design, character design. Ugh. Finally caught a stream. My sleep schedule's all messed up. I'm stenciling out the borders of a Kiribon request. Oh, nice. I've never done a Kiribon request. I've always been afraid to do it, because I've always been, you know... I was ready to buy my house being me back, but we had an ice storm and I haven't dropped it in the bank yet. Oh, I see. Ah, don't worry about it, Aaron Chris. I know things happen. I gotta say, if you ever do play one of those games, any one of them, I think if you like slow gaming, slow pacing, I think you'd find it really interesting, you know? The thing about those games is, like, there's a lot of quiet moments that they just let the characters breathe, you know? Which is super nice. And, correct me, okay. For anyone that played Ico, I think one of you played it. I think Redith, you played it, you said. Is the kid's name Ico? Or Eco, sorry. Is that why it's called that? Because I don't think anyone ever called... Because this game, you never know the... For The Last Guardian, you never know the name of the main character, which is fine. I don't mind that, you know? I think if you could only play one of these games, though, definitely play Shadow of the Colossus. As much as I like Ico, Shadow of the Colossus is so incredibly, super crazy unique, you know? Ico's pretty unique, this game is super unique, you'll never play anything like it, but Shadow of the Colossus is like the most gamey of their games. That's the best way I can describe it. You'll feel like you're actually playing, like, you know, levels in the way that they've set it up. These games kind of have like no loading screens, right? It's all one huge map, and it's up to you to decide how to like do it. So I guess in a way it's kind of open world, but still pretty linear, which is fine for me. I think in storytelling, if you keep your games kind of linear, it helps the story flow a lot better, which is why I kind of don't like the idea of open world all the time, you know? Like, my boyfriend is super excited that the new Zelda game is open world, which is cool. Like, it's gotta be fun gameplay, but I always worry that open world messes with storytelling. Because if you were giving someone a movie, or a book, or a comic, there's only one way the story can go, right? And in a game, it's kind of like that too if you have a linear game, right? It's just like, if you have a linear game, then for sure your audience is going to hit the story beats you want them to hit when they're supposed to hit them, right? Whether they succeed or not, that's up to you. That's probably up to your pacing if they're succeeding or not. In open world gaming, you kind of run the risk of the character just dicking around, you know? Of course, they'll create their own unique experience, but in my humble opinion, the games that kind of had the linear plot and gameplay had the strongest story, you know? Case in point, Metal Gear Solid 3, which is linear game, right? Metal Gear Solid is a linear game. Really strong story, you know? When they became more gamey and open-ended, like Peace Walker and Phantom Pain, the story suffered its big dramatic moments like the other ones usually did. Because there were so many ways to do whatever you want, you kind of get sidetracked as a player and just go and do whatever you want, which is fun. The gameplay in Phantom Pain is way more fun than Metal Gear Solid 3 and stuff like that. But you kind of sacrificed the storytelling that the old ones games had that was, you know, because you could only go through these certain areas. Yeah, I don't know. I know how you feel about carrot buns. I did mine a little different because I didn't want to get something I'd hate to draw. Waited till I hit a good number, then else I'd do the most amusing request. That's probably a nice way to do it. I see some people do that. Go, I'm doing this. Everybody respond on this journal. The most interesting one, I'll do. I've never done a Kiribon, but I feel like I should. Shadow of the Colossus was ingenious, plus had the most video game content to it in the way it plays. Yeah. I have no idea if that is the name. Aiko could be the girl for all I know. Yorda is the name of the girl in Aiko, because the queen says her name once. She goes, Yoda, you dumb bitch. Get back in the castle. Queen is mean. Yeah, her name is Yorda. But Aiko, I don't think it's the boy's name. I don't think they ever, for all I know, they just called it Aiko because the name of the developers are called Team Aiko. I don't know. Her name is Yorda. She was cute. I remember the first time I saw, I played a demo. I had a demo disc, and Aiko was on it. And it had, like, you know, the famous windmill puzzle and all that, whatever. When I first saw Yorda stepping out of her cage, I thought she was one of the most beautiful girls I'd ever seen in my life. Like, she was glowing. It was like, because, you know, it's kind of just... There's a reason why she's glowing stuff, but how they textured her and how she looked in the darkness with the light emanating from her skin, I thought she was, like, breathtakingly beautiful when I was younger. I still kind of do. She has a very simple design that feels otherworldly, but, you know, almost classic. Like, obviously she's special and I have to protect her. That's what her design screams out to me as soon as you see her, right? It's like, God, she's the precious thing that must be protected at all costs. That's what I mean by just good storytelling. In all those games, you know, when things are glowing, that's like an item you gotta pick up or something you had to go to, right? And what better way to illustrate that? It's just like, okay, this is the girl, this is the important thing, and she's literally glowing the whole game. Maybe one day. Haven't had a chance to play games lately. Yeah, I know what you mean, Faya. I had to really make time to play The Last Guardian. I had to, like, force myself to sit down and just get into it. Once I actually got into the groove of playing it, it was kind of hard to put down. Much to the dismay of my boyfriend. Because I was using his PS4 and it had my game save on it, so... He had to, you know, deal with that. Thank you, Michelle. Aw, thank you so much. Thank you. So I'm drawing Young Cat and Grumpy Cat fighting the Rat King from the Nutcracker play, while Yoda plays a banjo solo in the background. Whoa, that is quite the request, Aaron Chris. I mean, I'll have to reward the creativity of that, for sure. I should draw myself as a Pokemon player with a fancy Rowlet with his bow and top hat. Good. I look really cool in Pokemon right now. I don't know, all my money in Pokemon goes... all the clothes. My Pokemon are surviving off berries. I don't buy them any restorative. I don't buy them any... the only thing I buy them are revives. Everything else, it's like, well, I hope you like citrus berries. This is the only way you're getting healed. Not buying them any antidotes or anything like that. I need clothes. I need lots of them. I don't know why, but when you have a game where you can change your clothes, it almost feels like a new game every time I change them, you know? It's like, sweet. Today I feel like being fancy, or today I feel like being casual. I don't know. I found a Team Skull or whatever, a Skull Grunt shirt. That was awesome. So now I can look like one of those cool kids. Alright, I think for this I'll give her, this, this paintbrush looking one. Actually, I'll give her this fancy one. Make it a little smaller for her. And not hold down the button until the last minute this time. Okay. I love how my trainer looks right now. I went dark trainer, I went cute goth or something. I chose like the darkest skin option, and I kind of went like a super casual. I always had cutoff shorts and, you know, sandals. And I kind of like this thing where you have really dark skin and really light hair. So I always had like platinum blonde hair, or like whatever. And I'm still trying to buy stuff from this really fancy clothing store from like the first map of the game. I don't know. It's way too fancy out there for my character's blood, but whatever. I kind of wish Hao was like a jerk. Like, he's cool, I like him, but since I never got to play Pokemon, and before that I kind of just had Pokemon Omega Ruby, which is nice. And like, I like just beat that not too long ago. My first memory of Pokemon is the anime, and in that one, Gary's like a dick. He's an asshole. It makes you really want to beat him. But in Pokemon Ruby, and in this one, Sun and Moon, your rivals are really nice people, and it's just like, man, I want to like beat someone I hate. No one in that game did I hate, really. So I was just like, I could really use a bad guy who's a real douche. I don't know. I guess that one lady is, but I don't know. She just seemed crazy. It's like rivals aren't even a thing anymore. Yeah, everyone's a freaking friend. What the heck? I end up sympathizing more with Team Skull. I like Guzma. Guzmo? It's ya boy Guzma. Guzma. It's ya boy. He's cool. Again, bad guys are allowed to be super expressive because you're not really supposed to like them, but I don't know. I can't help but like Team Skull. They're kind of funny. When I first saw them, I was like, really? This is who I'm going to stand up against? They look like thugs. But in the end, I was just like, huh. I wish these guys had a nicer house, then they wouldn't be so grumpy. Hey Talden, how's it going? I did Drunk Quest last year. One of was a pirate riding unicorn pooping rainbows, high-fiving Nelson Mandela. How do you draw Nelson Mandela? He's dead! No, I'm kidding. I went dark light skin blonde too. Here's a quick we're from progress sketch of my. I should draw my team. My team is all birds. Oh, look at that, Rita. Huh? You got that little vulture egg thing. I named mine Pepper. Because since he looked like a chicken to me, I was thinking of black pepper chicken. I don't know what it's really called. I don't know what a lot of these things are called. I rename them as soon as I get them, so... I have a bird named Pekka. I have a bird named Pigwidgeon. I got a bird named Kutku. I got a bird named Pepper. Dapper is my rabbit. And yeah, I don't know what they're really called. I have no idea. I think I know P.E.K.K.A is called Toucanon because actually when he evolved all the way up to Toucanon, I was like, oh, that's pretty clever. He's like a toucan, but he's got a cannon beak. That was cute. But everyone else, I have no idea what they're called. Ooh, you're doing yoga now, Talden? Or have you always done yoga? I've been thinking of doing yoga for some time. Yep, I don't know the name of any Pokenames at all. Yeah. Yeah, my friend will be fighting me and I'll be like, the hell is that? I'll be like, well, I named him Ember because he has fire. But your guess is as good as mine. So, yeah. Sorry, let me just put this right here. I kind of have to, for this sketch, this client specifically requested that I show magic. So, I'm going to precisely do just that. The client, also this game, let me give you some context for this game. The thing in this world is that the whole world is black and white, but magic is colorful, and it can put colors on things, right? So the whole design would be like these kind of like, usually when you think of Carnivale masks, it's colorful, it's glitter, it's sparkly, it's tons and cascades of color, right? But it's all black and white. And this particular character can harness like magic, and the magic is the only colorful aspect of like the game. And I think when you apply magic to stuff, those things burst into color. So I really like that concept, you know? And I kind of like how it's like these characters, you know, her in particular, she's gonna have all these outfits, but it's only until you unlock the magic you'll see them in full color. So yeah. So just to clarify, these are character concepts for a small project I'm working on with a client. And it looks really cool. I don't know. I wish I could say more, but I think that's all I can say for now. But pretty much the thing is, it's like, yeah, she adds color to like a black and white world. Kind of like Epic Mickey, I guess. I don't know. I took a short break to lift weights, but I was turning into a steel beam, so I decided to start up again. I see. That reminds me of one of your sketches you did in a costume where you drew that girl who wielded like colors. Oh yeah, that was a cool one. That was I think that was for Arios. Thanks, Pokady. Oh, I read fantasy book series with Colors of Magic, Lightbringer series by Brent Weeks. Great writer. I should check it out. I used to read a lot of fantasy novels. I think by the time I got older, but it's funny, all my favorite books are high fantasy. I think my favorite book of all time is Ella Enchanted, which is kind of like a Cinderella story, just a more elaborate version of it. And let me just draw a couple. See, the thing is though, since she manipulates color, I wanted some of these to look like brushes. So this particular staff looks like a fan brush. This one looks just like one of those edged brushes. So let me do one where it looks a little bit more on the nosy. Let's just take a bunch of circles. And then we'll do some of this. Put that right there. I'll get rid of this little ball thing at the bottom. I like making staffs because I can quickly do this kind of technique to make a sort of unique shape to the to the whole middle area, since it's all symmetrical for the most part. I feel like I can make some really cool designs really quickly, you know? This one will be literally like a paintbrush. It'll almost look like a torch. Alright, now let's go into this so that it doesn't look so obvious. Hey Foglum, how's it going? I think it's an interesting design concept. Definitely changes the feel of the game to go Wizard of Oz and everything. Yeah, thank you, Michelle. Alright, gonna lurk and work. Alright, Faya, I'll send help. I'll send artistic support. I believe in you. And feel free to share if you ever get bored or stumped, or if you want an opinion. If you want my lofty opinion, I'll be glad to give it to you. By the way, I should point this out, because I always ask people about when was the last time they played a video game and the video game made them emotional, right? Because I got pretty emotional when I played The Last Guardian. I really love these games, but there was something about the ending The Last Guardian that made me really, it really shook me up emotionally. It could just be because you're mainly dealing with an animal that you gotta slowly form a bond with, and you don't want anything bad to happen with that animal. And when something bad happens to that animal, it's kind of almost like, it's almost like cheap. It's like he knew. It's just like an innocent animal is the quickest way to get someone's sympathy. If you show an animal getting hurt, you will automatically hate whatever is hurting that animal, right? I think for most people that's how it is, right? Whenever you hear a story about, like, you know, an animal that got, you know, beaten or something like that, it's, to me, my response, my gut reaction is just like, what an asshole. I don't care why they hurt the animal. Give them the harshest sentence possible, right? I'm not saying I'm being logical here, but what I'm saying is that's the gut reaction. So the whole game is centered around, okay, well, there's this animal, and, you know, why don't you be friends with this animal? I'm like, alright, game, I guess I'll be friends with it. And by the time I'm friends with it, you don't want anything bad to happen to it. Well, if you've played any of those other games, you know something bad's gonna happen to it. I got emotional in The Last Guardian. Before that, I want to say maybe The Last of Us. It's probably another, but I forgot. My emotions are too complex for that typical sort of emotion baiting. I say baiting, but it's usually easy to grip people with hurting animal. That's what I mean. It feels like baiting, you know? But despite that, it still felt like a genuine, like... It's still like a genuine, like, good storytelling, right? So the thing about The Last Guardian, The Last of Us, I felt that was baiting too when I was first playing it. I'm just like, I know where this is gonna go. See, The Last of Us held no surprises for me, right? There's literally, to me, nothing in The Last Guardian that stands out in terms of what happens, you know? When you play a zombie game, or you watch a zombie movie, or you read a zombie book, you know what's going to happen. You know the stages of the downfall of humanity when zombie, or something like a zombie outbreak starts, right? You know what's going to happen. You know there's going to be betrayal. You know there's going to be secrets and you know there's going to be a time where it's just like, who can we really trust? What's actually going on? You know, how far will survival turn us into animals? How blah blah blah. You know this is going to happen. But because it's still told so well, it's almost just like it's a satisfying like reveal, like, oh good, it's like I'm glad they got to this point in this trope. That's why when people go like, oh, it's a trope, I'm like, there's nothing bad with tropes. If you write them bad, then it's just like, then it just feels like, it's just cheap. But The Last of Us is a good example of nothing in there surprised me, and I don't think anything in there was supposed to surprise you. I think it was just done so well that when the things happened, when they did happen, it was satisfying. You know, like, I don't know. I feel like Lord of the Rings is that way. It's not surprising. It's kind of just like, it's very satisfying. It doesn't really, to me, and I don't think Lord of the Rings is supposed to break new ground. It's a classic fantasy fairy tale. But it's done so well that it's just like, I just can't help but like it. You know, I feel like Moana's like that. Like Disney movies, the classic Disney movie feels. A lot of them don't really put any surprising twists and turns because they don't have to. If you do the storytelling just fine, you can do a story like Cinderella, and there's nothing really complex to that, but if you do it just right, it's a good movie nonetheless, you know? So that's how I feel about The Last Guardian. Yeah, so Transistor got me unexpectedly. I didn't like the I didn't feel like baitings. That didn't feel like baiting, so loved it, yeah. Lord of the Rings is one of the first of its kind, though. Probably at the time the book came out, yeah. I'll agree. But I'm just saying by the time, like, I saw it, other than the sheer visual spectacle, I didn't see anything to me at the time that was just, like, super exciting and new, right? Like, the visuals were cool. But in terms of just, like, people that don't like each other have to band together for a common goal, you know, that was fine. At the time they were created, yeah, the story was brand new and nothing anyone's ever seen. Yeah, the books are fine, but when the movie came out, it was so satisfying. Like, we had seen classic fantasy stuff that it was just like, you know, if it's just done well, it's just a fantastic, you know, the books are good, the movies are good. So, you know, there's all of that. I'm not saying Tolkien is bad at writing. I'm not saying he was using tropes. Bioshock Infinite was pretty emotionally harsh for me. Transistor and Bastion were both impactful, but in different ways. I still have to say, I still have to play Transistor or Bastion. The art for Transistor looks amazing, so I've always wanted to play it because of that. I mean, I liked the emotions when I played Inside. If anyone's ever played that, I would love to talk about it because I feel like that game's got a mountain of things to say. So, just saying. Alright, I think I know what to do with this. I'm gonna get rid of those things in there. Gonna take this circle. Actually, I'll take this circle, it's a little thicker. And then we'll just add this circle outside of it, because it's a little thinner. By the way, welcome to the stream, Calpaint, and welcome Fex123. Tolkien books were easy but hard to read. I liked reading The Hobbit better than Lord of the Rings, personally. I mean, I like them both, but yeah. You know how great they are for transistors? I'll put it on the HD TV that's bigger than I am and it still looks glorious. You can see the brush strokes. Okay, first I must get an HD TV, and then I'll play it just like that. No, I'm kidding. That's awesome to hear, though. It's always like a shame when it's just like, darn, it's like when this gets blown up, it almost looks better if it wasn't in HD, you know? So it's cool when like when games are able to games and movies are able to accommodate that, you know? Because, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm older, but sometimes I don't like watching things in HD. I'm like, it's moving too fast for my eyes. The detail is too distracting at this point. So, that's good to know. Let's make these a little bigger. Actually, I'll just like copy and paste this part right here. Why not? Why not save some time? An unexpected version of sci-fi Out of the Silent Planet by C.S. Lewis. Ah, Out of the Silent Planet, huh? What am I drawing on? I am drawing on a Cintiq Companion, Fex123. It is, yeah, it's a drawing tablet. It's kind of like the Series 1 version. I know there's like a second version coming out, maybe even a third. I haven't been keeping up with it, but yes, the first time this is my first tablet that actually has a screen on it. So I've been using it for a while now. If anyone is on the fence about the Cintiq Companion, it is a good piece of equipment, but I feel like now that there are more options, it isn't the go-to for a tablet PC. I I guess. Because I see people that are creating things on like the iPad and the Surface, or like, you know, the new versions of it. And I'm like, dang, that's awesome. Because as much as I love Wacom, boy, are they expensive. And if you're going to spend that much for a tablet, maybe you might as well just get something that can do things other than drawing, you know? It was hard to justify buying something just for its art. Well, for me it was fine, but it's hard for other people to justify just buying a $2,000 piece of art equipment. But I bought it thinking I gotta earn my money back for it, so... And I was able to, so... It was money well spent. And it was a nice tax write-off. Alright, and yeah, there's that paintbrush stuff. I'll do one more. It has nothing you expect out of a traditional space travel story. It reminds me more of Bradbury. I feel like the envelopers looks like the witch's broom to me when I saw it before you explained the concept. Oh, thanks, Calpaint. I like it too. I gotta expand on it more. But I know what you... Now that you mention it, it kind of does look like a witch's broom. Since these are all kind of like Carnivale, like Renaissance era type of designs, I'm trying to keep things kind of like an elegant, festive look, you know? Which is sometimes easier said than done, because I kind of have a heavy hand, and I like to use thicker lines. So for things like this, where I want to like, you know, draw thinner things, I'm gonna have to like stylize it to something more fitting to that time? I don't know. There's no reference I can think of if I have to look up magical staffs in Italian Renaissance style, I guess. What can I do to make this even more fancy? Maybe I can do something like that. Do you have any ideas on color themes? Like, did the commissioner mention anything like pastel or certain colors? The only thing that they said was that they will colors and they kind of push colors and swirl them around, kind of like a cosmos forming, you know? So it's kind of like when I think the colors are generated, they're kind of like sparse and kind of like more like particle than a bold solid color, right? So it's kind of just like she's making colors kind of erupt from the staff and just kind of spreading out onto areas. So that also kind of makes me kind of think of keeping things slightly sort of like curved, kind of curved design to almost make it look like the center of an orbit when the magic does come out. But I also want to point out, literally, I wanted to have some fun with like staffs that look like paintbrushes, just to admit it's like, oh, well, you're adding color, so whatever. But I kind of want to keep things generally round because when I do add these colors to it, the way they explained it, it's probably going to look like tiny universes like swirling out of it. So that's how they explained it. I'm probably going to try to explore other concepts with the color, but I have to... That's just the thing. When you do concept art and the client wants you to do this, go nuts with the concept, but initially draw exactly what they want. If they say, look, I want this person to have water shooting out of their wand, and I just want it to like, I want it like coming out like a sprinkler, right? And maybe you have, oh, I have an idea, like, what if bubbles come out of it to show water? What if like the water is just kind of like, it doesn't spray forward, but it kind of just like snakes down, almost just like it's a heavy water, you know? It's just kind of like, or what if like the water, when it comes out, it's like spraying out and foaming out, like it's so forceful, like they have to like hold their hand steady because the water's coming out so much. Do that? I mean, you could ask first before you do that, right? But if someone asks you, can you have water coming out and this is exactly what I want, draw exactly what they want first and then do all that. Because I have run into some artists that are kind of like, they don't like the restriction of doing concept art when some people are just like, no, I just want it like this, your ideas, I don't want them. don't ever take offense to that first. Sometimes it's just they can't understand what you're saying unless you show them. Because most people that kind of request art, you know, I'm not saying anything to be mean, but since they're not artists themselves, it's hard for some of them to understand what you're trying to say. I'm not good with words, so sometimes it's just like, look, I kind of drew a little extra to show this idea I had. I didn't know how to explain it, but here it is. But anyways, I drew exactly what you requested, so no harm, no foul, right? If I decide to draw something extra, I don't charge them for it, though. That'd be dick. Sometimes I ask. Most of the times I ask. And a lot of people will say, yeah, sure, try it out. That sounds alright. But someone will just say, no, that's fine. And then I save myself some time. Does anybody know what song is playing right now? Oh, sorry, it was Wildfire. Wildfire, it was a remix by Fatal Force and Crusher P. So, sorry about that. I was like talking way too long. Sorry about that. Would investing in a drawing tablet be good for making comics? I would say so, Fex123. I think digital comics is a lot easier in the long run and more cost efficient than having to buy inks and paper and nibs and brushes and all that stuff. Like, the thing is though, it's like if you want that traditional look, you're gonna have to practice a lot with digital to achieve that look, because what I do like about digital is it can achieve a lot of looks, right? But you just kind of have to like work with the work with the tablet to get what you want. So if you want that really natural look, it's probably gonna take a while with the digital stuff until you get really comfortable with the tablet and stuff like that. But me personally, because I don't have a lot of money, digital's, even though it's like a lot of money at first, it just makes sense to me in the long run. You know, I've saved money on, for one, I don't have a good scanner, right? So if you're going to do traditional, you should have a good scanner, you should have good quality paper, good quality pens and ink, because you don't want those things bleeding all over the place. Also, you kind of have to mess with the elements. Like, I used to be an assistant inker for a studio that was contracted under DC Comics, so I would work on background inks for DC Comics, right? This is when the New 52 was launched, right? So I worked on comics around that time. And the thing is, like, when you're working traditionally, you're kind of working with the elements too, because I live in Southern California where it's very humid. And when it's very humid, the ink tends to bleed faster and be more runny. So when it was really hot, we had to be so careful laying down those inks. But when it was colder, you kind of had a little more leeway because it was colder, the ink wasn't so runny. It was kind of just really like, if it's hotter, the liquid's going to be liquider longer. If it's colder, it's going to cool off. And you know, dust in the air can drag on your ink and stuff like that. And there was a cat at the studio, so if the cat hair got up on, you had to really make sure your paper was clean before you inked, because if there was like a stray white, almost invisible cat hair, and I'm laying it down, and the ink got it, and it just dragged that, oh dude, that was the fucking worst. You don't have to worry about that digital. So, yeah. Hey Jacob. Yeah. Sea's the opposite. I feel like Sea's Lush Generation Fantasy Sci-Fi. I always thought Frankenstein was sci-fi horror, but I think it's horror first and then sci-fi. Because it has a science to it, right? It has like a pseudoscience. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Frankenstein. I think that comes due in part that I had an English teacher who hated Mary Shelley's works, and he mocked it every chance he had, and it kind of left an impression on my taste in the novel. So I definitely love the movie Frankenstein, you know, and Bride of Frankenstein. Those are really cool. I like them. But in terms of the novels, I couldn't get into them because he just he wrecked those novels. So I try to, when I want to show somebody something, it's hard to do it, but trying to stay biased about being excited or something you don't like, it's so hard. But you know. Didn't she write a story about a plague or something too? Like, about the last man on Earth? Or was that her? Maybe I'm just thinking of something else. Entirely. By the way, thanks for the follow. Where that was. I heard the alert go off, so. Oh, thanks for the follow, Fetz. Yeah. Mary Shelley's wonderful. Oh, let's be real, the best Frankenstein actually is Young Frankenstein. Yeah. Oh, I love the story Frankenstein, for sure. I think I just like the cinema version of it better, you know, Boris Karloff. Yeah, Young Frankenstein is a pretty good adaptation. I like that on its own. That was the first time I saw Frankenstein. I saw Young Frankenstein, so I always thought that was the real one. And then I took an American cinema history class. And, yeah. Hey, DFX ROM. I actually have I was working on this, and I'm kind of, shifting between these two things. So that's how she's coming out. I kind of have to redo the cards on her, though. But I got that thing that she's using. This planetary device. The astrology device. And then we'll see how that winds up. So, I'm working on it. So, I feel bad making you wait this long. But I just gotta do these really quick and then I'm jumping back on there. But, yeah. Oh, I know what you meant, cow paint. Yeah, Luli! I'm gonna get Final Fantasy XIV, so maybe I'll catch you on there. I tend to play by myself, though, because usually I play at odd hours, but I kind of really want to play Final Fantasy XIV. I draw so many commissions of them, and some of my friends got it for PS4, and they said, oh, we could actually all play on the same server, even though it's like your PC and I'm PlayStation 4, and I'm like, sweet. So that's my deal going on here. So I kind of want to like fix this area here. Cool, DFX ROM. Yeah, is it Astrologician's Glove? Okay. Astrologians. I kept saying astrologician, like astrology magician. Astrologian. Astrologian. Oh, I missed some on her. I thought that image was just her throwing her cards up. Oh, yeah. Well, the cards kind of swirl around it, according to the thing. And I kind of had the cards, like, swirling at a horizontal thing. Like, I had it like this. Actually, I think I could just show the previous one. Do I have it here? This is like it from a long time ago, but I had the cards kind of swirling in this kind of formation. But I think I need to make them more like standing upright, if that's... you guys will see what I mean. But before, this is how they were. I just didn't draw that image there because I knew it was going to take me a while, and I felt like that was going to be really boring on stream, so yeah. So we'll get that out of there. Now let's finish up these ladies, so that we can get going. This is a previous image I've done for this guy. Okay, I gotta draw one more brush, and then we're out of here. Then we can just do the quick color effects. Quick color effects. I ran into DFX Ramen game, we're BFFs now. It's funny, Talden. You're in the same world. Astrologian. Astrologian, okay. Astromancer would have been nice. Yeah, I'm bad at explaining things, Aaron Chris. I think once I actually draw it, it'll be, it'll make sense, hopefully. So, yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, guys, I'm working on Twitch emotes. I'm not the best at them, but here's one. Obviously, it was a lot smaller than I thought, but there's one. But I'm gonna be working on more. If you guys have any ideas on what I could draw for an emote, go for it. Pretty much the only ideas I had to draw for an emote for this particular stream is one that says draw, one that says rant, because I get mad sometimes, and one is just a bowl of ramen. I don't know of anything else that defines my stream other than those three things. If you guys can think of anything else, be my guest. If you guys can think of something that could be universally used, let me know. I might make it. Because I want to try to make cool looking shit. So people can find me. What's a paintbrush size? Probably like this. Like a nice stiff round one. Maybe I can make it more like a... I'm gonna make this look more like a pen nib. Just to give it like an interesting shape, you know? Again, the context is you're adding like color and stuff to the environment. So I don't want these to look like just typical magic brushes or magic staffs. I kind of want to like give them a kind of a unique look, you know? Renaissance picture frame. Oh, let's check it out. Very, what do you call that? Baroque? Very grotesque. And I don't mean grotesque in a bad way. I mean grotesque in where it's dripping with so much detail it is grotesque. The proper use of the word. Thank you for the reference. I appreciate it. Now let me try to put it to some good use. Also, if you're ever doing digital, it's so sweet to just draw half of something and leave the rest to mirroring it, you know? I mean, I can't use this for everything, but I love doing it for concept work like this, where it's just like, I don't know, sometimes it just looks better if it looks completely symmetrical, right? LP growl, LP chew, LP ramen, LP flex. Ugh. I growl? Okay. Thanks, Michelle. Oh, that's awesome to know, Cal. Awesome. Because me, whenever someone says, I kind of want things in a Victorian era style or Heian era, I love researching those things, you know? It's just, it's so fascinating to draw something based off, you know, something from a long time ago, right? And for me, it's just like if it doesn't get that era's look, then, you know, I kind of gotta go back to the drawing board for it. I mean, these are kind of just, you know, kind of very fantasy style, so I'll probably go back and like like this one I was just like, I don't know, and then I try to make sense of it, right? So sometimes it's like, maybe this is going to be a very organic staff. Maybe this one's going to be very precise and very, you know, it's literally kind of almost like a, you know, a little tiny solar system. You know, maybe this one was just a big globe. The Earth in the middle. So it helps. Hey 80. Thanks for coming to the streamy stream. I've never actually heard an LP growl, but I need something to spam at Din. Oh, I see. Yeah, that would be great. I'll do that. I'm your gal for that. Anything to antagonize that man. I'll do it. But yeah, now that I finished The Last Guardian, I kind of want to like get into the groove of playing a game again, you know? Like, obviously not all the time. I got work to do, you know? And, but I don't know if you guys ever feel this. I genuinely get depressed when I finish a game, you know? Like, I'm gonna get a little sad here, but when I grew up I didn't have a lot of friends, right? And video games came into a point in my life where, since I didn't have friends, the video games were sort of my friends. So whenever I would beat something like Final Fantasy or something like that, I spend like hundreds of hours with these characters, and then the game ends, I would literally be depressed. I'm like, that's it, the journey's over, the fun, I'm not gonna see them again. I mean, I could play the game again and I'd see them, but this is as far as my relationship goes with this story, with these characters. And I would get so attached, I would get depressed. I hadn't had a feeling like that in a long time, till I played The Last Guardian. I was like, the story's over. Now what I'm gonna do, I guess I could pet my real dog, but he's not big. He doesn't have lightning coming out of his tail. He's just a dog. He's not as cool as Trico. I don't know. I love my dog Rocky. He's a sweetheart. If he hears me in the other room, he'll be like, "Aw, I'm sorry I'm not a mythical phoenix griffin character thing." But yeah. Yeah, I have you guys now. Whee! You wouldn't mind watching me play the occasional game? Yeah. I'm also a history studies person though, and a historical reenactor. Oh, nice, Cal Paint. Oh, so you got like, then you are the guy for historical research. Or lady, I don't know. Thanks, Talbin. Okay. Take care, DFX ROM. So relatable, yeah. I can't ride a dog like a mount. That real dog is not as cool as Jacob. Yeah. So, you know. Yeah, no. But it was kind of embarrassing. I guess I could just admit it to you guys, but when I was playing the game, I was playing it with my back to my boyfriend. He was just like sitting there on the bed, and then we saw the ending. And then we're just like, we're like, huh, so it ended, so he's all talking. Then he's all like, oh, it's sad, huh? Don't cry. He was kind of making fun of me. But when he turned, because I was on a swivel chair, when he turned the swivel chair around, I was like, there were tears. I was like all quiet, and I tried not to cry, but there were tears down my eyes. I felt so lame and pathetic the next day, but that night I was like, no, it's done. I get really emotional about games. So I get really defensive about them too. And I understand when I'm being illogical about a love for a game. Because, yeah. But anyways, it happens to the best of us. Crying about your digital big pet. Boy, those controls were frustrating. But that ending made it all worth it. It almost made it feel intentional. Like, I literally struggled. And we struggled. And for it to come to this ending, it was just too much for me. Yeah, I was a poor potato. Gender-neutral person for all your historical queries. Gotcha, Calpaint. Real-life version of an Arcanine? Yeah. I'm not sure what Trico is. Some people, when I see them talk about it online, they call him a griffin. Or her. We don't know if Trico's a boy or a girl, by the way. So I always just call it a he, because all of my pets, my dogs, have been boys, so I'm just used to calling my pet he. So, but Trico could very well be a girl. Yeah, no. Trico could be whatever you want to be. Alright, we'll take this and do the whole mirror thing to it. Glue it together like this. Make it a little more apart. Okay, now let's finagle it. Make it a little darker. Gotta respond to a message. There we go. Anyways, get a Russian bear hound. Those are big enough. Chico identifies as attack helicopter. All of my dogs have been girls, and the one cat I've had was a dude. So what exactly is the story behind this stuff in this commission? Oh, 80. These are this is designs for a character from I'm commissioned to like kind of like make like a pitch bible for like an indie game, right? And I guess the story behind this game is this is a world of just like it's kind of like a world inspired by the Italian Renaissance and Carnivale, kind of like a very like almost just like a weird like kind of everyone's wearing like a mask, you know, kind of like those old like Carnivale masks, right? And as far as I can tell, we're only working on female characters right now because the main character is female and she has a bunch of sisters and stuff. But in this world, it's all black and white. There's no color, and people there are like, I guess she's discovered a magic to add color to things, like add color to objects, to the world around her, and the colors also act as elements. Like if you wanted to use like a spell for blue, it would come out as water too, and it would splash everywhere. And if you wanted to make something red, it would kind of like burn out of there like fire and make that thing, you know, doing fire damage, water damage, blah blah blah, but also giving it that color. So I thought that was a pretty unique concept. I mean, there's been other stuff like it too. Epic Mickey is one of the things I can think about where you're painting the world and stuff, so yeah. Carnivale. Yeah, and I thought that was a unique aesthetic because I can't really think of a lot of games that actually have that kind of, like Carnivale, like that kind of stuff. It's pretty but creepy, you know? Because everyone's face is hidden, so that's what I think. So yeah, hopefully it'll go somewhere, because I gotta say, as a concept artist, you make a lot of concepts for things that don't really see the light of day, because that's just how it is. At the end of the day, not everything gets, you know, greenlit or, you know, approved. Whether, like, because there's times where I've done whole concept art for projects, and then I'll never hear about it again, and maybe 2 years later I'll get an email saying, yeah, so project didn't go anywhere, but thanks for all your help anyways, and it's just like, alright, well, that's too bad, but at least I got paid, right? But there are some ideas that I have that, you know, I can never say to you guys, because I'm under NDA for some of them, that I really wish the thing had come out or something, because, I don't know, me personally, I guess I'll always take pride in a lot of the things I'm working on. It'll always be cool to me. That it's not good. I'll do this. Yeah, something like that. The last one is one of my favorites now too. Yeah. Yeah, that Blob game. I forget what it's called. Is it just called The Blob? The Blob? Okay, nice, 80. Thanks. I'll email you later. Aw, man. Well, you know what, Rip Rad? If I'm the Chan right behind Jackie Chan, what more can I ask for? But it's interesting to see where things end up from the original idea. Yeah, you know, I love, like... Oh, where is it? Because I always have a bunch of video game, like, concept art books, if I can afford them, right? And I got the Bayonetta one, and literally the first, like, 50 or so pages is just them trying to figure out what Bayonetta's gonna look like. But, like, you see all this? I love things like this. It's like, she used to look like this, she used to look like that. This is why this kind of didn't work, and this is why we went in this direction. At one point she was gonna be blonde, at one point she was gonna be French. At one point, she was gonna be Asian. Blah blah blah, and all this stuff. And this kind of stuff makes me like. I don't want to say anything inappropriate, but it makes me really happy. But I love it. It's like really inspirational to see, like, you know what? It really puts into your mind. It's just like if a don't get married to a concept. There's so many. Maybe someone was like, I really like this first version of Bayonetta. I don't want to let go of it. And if they didn't, we wouldn't end up with the version of Bayonetta we have today, who's super awesome, you know? And it's just like there's tons. I heard this from one of my bosses. He said there's thousands of good ideas, but there's only one right idea, right? So sometimes you have projects where these people have all these cool concepts flying around, but they didn't know how to string it together properly, or it was just too much. Probably they should have saved it for another project, right? It's kind of how I feel about, like, this is my opinion, original Star Wars to the prequel trilogy. The original Star Wars had just the right amount of everything, right? And it all worked well. Whereas I felt the prequels almost had too much ideas that didn't string together as well. Like George Lucas, I will always say he's a great ideas guy. He's got ideas coming out the wazoo. He's just, he's a crazy good, you know, he's creative as hell. But he needed someone to, like, you know, rein him in, or just give better direction to it, you know? Or just say, you know what, that idea is cool, but we don't need it, you know? I don't know. That's how I always feel about them. It's just like, you know what, one was full of cool ideas, but one had the right idea in terms of just making like a cool movie, you know? So, I don't know. That's always going to be my analogy for having too many ideas versus the right one. So. Yep. The area, there are a lot of art books at the office. We just got the Moana one. Aw, man! Inti Link. I am really jealous because I actually don't buy a lot of Disney art books, but I really want the Moana one, you know? Hello, Lanum. Hello, people. Let me finish this part here because everyone's been staring at this one nib for God knows how long. But yeah. Padme is Yabe. That's cool. She is really pretty. Unpopular opinion, I like the prequel. Is my generation what I grew up on. That's what I feel too. Like, since I didn't grow up with the prequels, they didn't affect me so much, but I always wonder how they affect young people. And it seems like the younger people, they like it just fine. So sometimes I just feel like it's like that. Like, I grew up watching the original Star Wars, so to me I was like, it's kind of like, I'm not gonna say it's that bad, but you know the Powerpuff Girls reboot? It's like, I'm not gonna say Star Wars is that bad. I don't like the Powerpuff Girls reboot. I like reboots of stuff. I mean, I like Batman Beyond. I don't know. Reboots for me, they're either hit or miss. It depends on the person making them, right? I don't automatically hate reboots. Some people are just like, ugh, a reboot? Why can't they make something original? I don't think that way because me personally, I love fan art. And for me, a person can draw something that already exists, but make it a lot cooler, you know? They don't have to be the original creator to draw like a sick piece of, like, you know, Batman art or Zelda art, you know? They can they can put their own spin to it and make it really cool and unique, you know? So that's how I feel about remakes. To me, remakes are like fan fiction. But if done right, they'll feel just like canon, you know? I don't know. I have friends who deeply hate remakes, and I kind of went through that phase, and then I was kind of like, you know, if it's a good one, it's a good one then. I do think when you're handling something that has a pre-existing property to it, it's a bit tricky. Because then it's like, do I please the old crowd or the new crowd, you know? This is getting all wonky. Getting rid of all that. Sorry, I'm gonna try to do something here that I see on like lamps and stuff, so let me see if I can pull this off just right. Whew, not going through. Alright. Let me look up. Just recently at art school, our games went through many iterations, and we worked on them. It was fun. Nice, isn't it? That's kind of like how things have to be, right? It's really hard to stick to an original idea. I'm not saying that no ideas are not original, but it's just like some things have to change in order to work because things are added later down the line or whatever. Hi, Wild Rainbow. Thanks for joining the stream. I could see that staff being more like of a water one, just because like how the ink would flow of it normally and such. Yeah, I agree, Tempered Blade. For that, I agree. That's why so many Super Trekkies hate the new movies. For me, it was what got me into Trek, but I've gone full circle and dislike a lot about them now, so I don't know. There's a balance point. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Star Trek Into Darkness, but other than that, I kind of like the new... And I like Star Trek, you know? You know, like, for me, it's just like, I don't know why I like the new ones so much. Like, some people go like, oh, it doesn't feel like Star Trek is too actiony and stuff. I'm just like, because, you know, the Star Trek movies have always been sort of actiony, but the Star Trek shows are not really that, usually, right? But, I don't know. I don't like Star Trek Into Darkness too. I mean, I like it okay, but it's my least favorite of the new Star Trek movies, but I really do like, the third Star Trek movie. I was surprised by actually how much I did like that. I was going in ready to hate it. I was like, I'm just gonna go in because this feels like it's gonna be the last Star Trek movie. But I kind of liked how it came out. So yeah. Alright, have fun, Interlink. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I guess the problem with that is the original idea can be real subjective. I'm in a weird phase of my painting. I'm not sure if I'm wasting time or just rendering a doodle. Why don't you post it, Riprad? I know exactly what you're talking about. Unfortunately, I know too well what you're talking about. I've been literally feeling that with everything I've been making this whole month. Oh, I love this song. Getting rid of this X. Maybe we'll do more something like organic like that. Like sculpted flowers or something for this one. Oh, thanks, Calpain. I could have used these spiral columns before. No, I'm kidding. I mean, I still could. See, I don't know what these things are called, so it definitely does help. Alright. Let's do this. Let's put my little center point on there. Do you charge hourly for concept work? Actually, I do. I kind of price everything out to how long it takes me to do. Like when I price how much it is to do like a full body concept sketch or line art or color, I generally price that on basically how many hours on average it takes me to finish that, right? So if something usually takes me 5 hours to finish, I charge that amount, you know, usually like that. And that way I have to, like, you know, that's how I come to my pricing, right? To me, it's like the easiest, most just way, because, you know, all jobs kind of charge you by the hour. So whenever you're trying to, when people ask me, how much should I charge for my stuff? I'm like, well, how much do you think you should be charged an hour? It's just like, because I'll see some artists that'll be like, yeah, I'll charge, you know, 20 bucks for a whole body sketch. And I'm just like, all right. I'm like, you know, as long as that sketch doesn't take you like 4 hours, you know, fine. I understand when you're starting out, you gotta price a little low, but, you know, start off low, but eventually, over time, really think about how much your skills are worth. And, you know, it's hard to increase prices, right? I don't increase my prices that often. The only time I do is if I feel like I have to, because after doing taxes, I gotta look at my living expenses and really take stock and, like, you know what? You know, what is reasonable? You know, I just don't go, 200 bucks. I can use 200 bucks. I'll do this for 200 bucks. It's just like, I gotta, like, charge this as how, you know, kind of fair. It's just like, if I'm gonna put 8 hours into this, I have to charge 8 hours. And I have to put at least 8 hours into it, right? That's how it feels, you know? And some things come easier than others, and that's cool. But if things start to get difficult, then it's almost just like I'm being charged on my dime, you know? It's just like, darn, I wish I was able to, like, you know, do these things faster. And sometimes I do, but hey, can't all have our days go the way we want. Generally, I charge, for me, my hourly rate is like 33 bucks an hour. Because a sketch could take me like hour and a half. I'm a fast sketcher, but everything else I'm pretty slow at. So after sketches, when people go like, yeah, your sketches are cheap, but everything that's like higher, it's like, well, sketching I can do rather quickly. Coloring, line art, I have to slow down for that. But, you know, that's all for quality control. And if they're cool with that, hey, we're in business. Not, and they're free to take their business elsewhere. Oh wait, let's see what you got here, Rip Brad. Look at this mess. I'm not saying that in a bad way, I'm just saying, like, it's almost like psychedelic, you know? It almost reminds me of, like, something I'd see in Final Fantasy VI, you know? That kind of, like, fleshy, dark, gray, like, almost bony flesh, you know? And it looks pretty badass. I mean, is it supposed to be like an environment? Like some kind of like nightmarish forest or something like that? Or like the insides of like the guts of a god or something? It's pretty nuts. I like kind of like that kind of fire opal look in the middle, you know? I dig it. Oh, hey Darius. You're selling volume for night? Well, hey, thanks so much. Thanks for stopping by to say hi, Darius. Always appreciated. But yeah. Already how my commission won't cause you too much trouble. I don't worry about it, AD. It's all good. Lightbulb Woman stream makes so much sense for hourly artwork. Proof of how long it took in case the client wants it. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I agree. I also use this thing called Upwork for some clients, where it's just like, it times you. If I press this on, it's going to time it, right? And it'll take screenshots throughout the day of what I worked on during this is on. And then, you know, it turns off. That's also so a company just goes, it's like, yeah, it's going to take me, like, so many hours to finish this. It also kind of sees if you're just dicking around. Like, because it's on that screen, if I kind of, like, use this computer to, like, look up, you know, play games on it, on their hour, then it's just like, alright, fire him, fire her, she's a liar. So, I'm not saying you have to use that. I'm still kind of like, you know, getting used to using that. So I wouldn't recommend it just yet, but I would say streaming is a very convenient way to show people, it's like, yeah, like this is me working on your person. It also, it's good to show people when you're not tracing, you know? Like recently someone like said like, hey, like I drew that exact pose. I don't know if they were accusing me of something, but if they did, I would be like, well, if you look at my stream right here, I have it on YouTube. You can see I didn't chase anything off your, you know, off your page, so. The ultimate proof. I guess you could say. It's literally Scribble is kind of pulling in directions, I guess kind of abstract. I'm wondering if you think that's like worth blowing it up and really defining everything, or if it's better left messy. Why not both? I mean, you could always like save it out now and go, hey, this is a work in progress. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Me? I would definitely focus more in the middle, like that right side. You can kind of leave that, either like cut it off, or you can leave the outsides blurry, but I would just like really define that kind of orange-red structure you got going there that don't, to me it looks like a nerve kind of structure behind a rib cage going into the fire opal. Like that area on the left is so interesting. Honestly, you know, I know you say these are just scribbles and stuff, like I don't know what those purple and blue scribbles are on the bottom left side of it. Like those you could probably, to me, do without unless you're going to refine them into something. But that kind of like diagonal strip from like the left to the center of the image, that looks really, you know, awesome for now. It kind of reminds me of like Final Fantasy VI, the end boss or something, you know? Personally, that's what I think. That this kind of like weird shapes you kind of have going in the middle, like they're cool. And even if you do define them, you can still keep them pretty abstract, you know? Aw, thanks Michelle, love you too. I'll see you later. So do you ever plan on doing your own story, a full-fledged concept in the future? I actually have one right now. Does anyone, is anyone participating in that 2D art war going on in that one website that I can never remember the name for? ArtCube? I think that's what it's called. They kind of have a contest going on right now where you have to make an original character, you know, and it's like a character design contest. But as I was thinking of one for it, because the thing is, it's like I'm not sure if I'm going to join it because I don't know if like I'll have time for it. But I started to really think about a character to design for it, and I'm kind of really liking this character I'm thinking of. So, yeah. Cube Brush Art War. Gotcha. Cube Brush. That's it, Pokedy. You guys on the Kefka tree totally see that too. Yeah, Rip Rad, I'd say keep going at it. If you want to take a break from it, for sure. Because sometimes if you're working on something for so long, you know, put it down for like an hour or come back to it the next day if you have time, if you're not under a deadline. Like, look at it again with a fresh pair of eyes after you're not seeing it for a while. You might see something like, oh shit, like look at that going on right there. I should detail on that or expand on that or blah 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 blah. But yeah. definitely some points you could focus in, but since you said you were just sketching it out, you know, things are obviously going to be blurry for a while until you figure it all out, so yeah, no. Push that up here. And sometimes when you draw things like this, like big, and I'm just like stretching and squeezing them, sometimes it makes like the details like look a little more concentrated on purpose. Like, I don't know. These are all sketches, but I always feel bad when they look like badly sketched. I'm not good at drawing everything, but I do give it a good shot. At least I think I do. All right. Let's put some silhouettes behind these girls and add some magic. I mean, it's all technically the same character, but whatever. Multiple girl figures. Hey, Brown Kool-Aid, how's it going? I'm supposed to be drawing something for it, but I'm so freaking self-conscious about the drawing, it's ridiculous. Ah, don't be. Oh, thanks for the link, Telvin. I mean, yeah, to be honest, I'm pretty nervous too. I don't know if it's going to be worth the time, you know? Because for me, whenever I do a contest, I always think about, okay, I'm not going to win. So if I'm not going to win, what am I going to get out of it? Is the exposure worth it, right? Is the experience going to be worth it? For me, you know, when people go like, oh, you do art for like the page views, whatever, it's like, yes. Yeah, if you're a person who's just like, you know, if you're a person who's trying to make money off your freaking art, you need page views. You need freaking attention. Oh, hey, Toki Monster. What is the hotkey? Oh, what is the hotkey? Shit. Okay, when you're drawing this, you know, I just have like the freeform lasso tool. What the fuck am I holding? Alt. Okay. When you're drawing with the freeform lasso tool like this, right? If you press Alt while the pen is still on the tablet, it becomes a polygonal lasso tool. See? I don't know if you can see all these marquee lines. But you got this. Cool. And then if you're just doing this, and then you just hit the Alt while you're still dragging it, it can become like a straight edges. And it really saves a lot of time. By the way, hi Toki Monster. Super nice of you to come by. Now I'm all nervous. But I use the lasso tool for a lot of things now because of that shortcut. It's just like, holy shit. Because I'm so heavy-handed, it's bad when I use like the actual eraser on the tablet pen. And you know, can make much cleaner edges. Like I am clearly not demonstrating. It's all good. I was like, wow, I never see you on because I'm a terrible viewer. It's all good, Toki. I'm a terrible viewer too. Usually when I see you live, I'm not at my computer. Or it'll just be lurking, you know? Because, you know, when I start typing, I get distracted from I get distracted from drawing, and I'm just like, damn it, I don't have time for that. But I do lurk. And that's always fun to do, but I always feel bad. I'm like, I just feel like I'm stalking the person. But whatever. Yeah, but I appreciate you coming down. Everybody, Toki Monster's a crazy sick artist. Go check her out. Alright. Sorry, I'm quiet. I'm concentrating. There we go. And I still make it messy. I'm resigned to never being popular until I'm dead. Luckily, being poor helps with that. Well, there you go, Rip Rad. Then you got no problems. Yeah, Fire, notice me! View my pages! Yeah. Because you're a sick artist, Toki. Being unpopular, being dead, all the above. Yeah. Typing is hard. I am terrible at it. Auto spell doesn't help. It just makes me look freaking schizophrenic sometimes. Just blurting random words in the middle of a sentence. But yeah, I mean, if any of you guys are interested, that Art War contest on Cube Brush, Art Cube, gosh darn it. Let me go up and see what you guys said. Cube Brush. Why do I keep saying Art Cube? I'm interested in it, and I kind of have an idea for a character for it, but I kind of want to flesh her out a bit more before I give you guys the pitch, because I don't even have a name for it yet, just the concept alone. But yeah. Oh, Hermione. I'm not a huge fan of Emma Watson, but I am quite the fan of Hermione Granger. I always wished I was smart enough to be a know-it-all. All my trivia is like useless trivia, so. You know what I'm gonna do? These lines can use a little outer glow to look a little soft and feminine. Not too much, dang. Dang. Probably about that much. As you guys know, I kind of like putting an outer glow on stuff on the lines. They just kind of make them a little bigger and softer. Without making them look super solid, I don't know. It makes them look a little feminine too. I can't put my finger on it. Art War on QBrush. Thank you, Talden. I'm really thinking about streaming some stuff here. It seems like a really cool community. Hey, oh yeah, there's Toki's emote. Stream so you have a context too for how hard it can be occasionally. Putting yourself out there no matter... Yeah, it's a pretty huge step. I mean, every time I stream, if you guys are wondering why I'm always like 20 minutes late, I'm just hyperventilating in the corner. Just like, oh god, hope I don't fuck up. That's how it goes. Ideally, guys, the goal is to get as much work done here as I can so I can jump back to coloring this thing. I want you guys to know I am capable of color, but boy does it take a while to get there because I'm one of those people that has to do lines first. I always envy people that can just straight up paint, you know? I'm just like, that's what I get for liking comics and anime. I notice lines first. And then I gotta use them. But that's like me dangling the carrot. I'm like, I promise we'll get here and finish it. Yeah. But for now, got these little baby sketches. But they're both commissions, and they're both work I have to get done. So usually when I can't stream, it's because the work I'm doing is under NDA, and I can't show it. So what I do like about streaming is, I'm killing two birds with one stone. I get to work on work that I gotta do, and I get to get input from you guys, because I was used to working in an environment with other artists, so when I started to freelance all by myself, I was going a little crazy not having anyone to talk to. So thank you for being there, and you know, thanks for telling me if I suck or not. No. You guys are so nice. No one ever tells me I suck when I'm stumbling about. So thank you for always helping my confidence. I super appreciate it. Yeah, I would do it, Cal. If you're drifting into digital art, then drift on over to Twitch. Also, TwitchCon's coming up. I'll definitely be going to that if anyone wants to say hi. I went to TwitchCon last year. I had like a little, and actually now that I'm closer, I'm gonna like pull back on this. There we go. Come on, Photoshop. I actually don't want to listen to this song right now. I'll listen to this anime song though. Also, you guys, I'm working on a Carnivale Renaissance style era looking character art for a small indie game pitch. Not sure how far the project will go. I was just hired to do concept art for it. But I am enjoying it. I do like the duality of Carnivale being very pretty, but can look very creepy. Because you don't see anyone's face. Everyone could be a murderer and you don't know it. I don't know, that's just my mind jumping to the most reasonable conclusion. If I can't see your face, you must be up to no good. Right? Oh, what are you guys talking about? I got all excited when I saw Dan Levisi was a judge. Yeah, see, that's one of the things I'm really nervous about. Dan Levisi is a judge, but it's just like, I don't know, maybe it'll be worth it. One of my personal biggest claims to fame was I entered a contest for Final Fantasy where you had to design a garment for Lightning for the third Final Fantasy 13 game. And the top 20 finalists, whatever, was going to have their art viewed by, what's his name? Oh shit, I can't believe I forgot his name right now. Nomura.
For me?
No, the guy that does all the art for Final Fantasies now, the guy before Yoshitaka Amano. He was one of the judges, and he saw my art. I was one of the finalists, and I didn't win, but because, you know, I was one of the finalists, he actually saw my art, and I was just like, oh god. I mean, maybe he looked at it for a second, and it was like, fuck this. But the fact that I was given a platform that he was able to see my art was astounding. Like, I didn't get any feedback. Of course, you know, it was just like, alright, we'll just send it off to the judges, and since Square Enix is the final judge, they'll judge it, and, you know, that was cool. What'd you guys say? Yeah, I wonder how it is to get a booth for TwitchCon. Like, I don't know if I'll be able to get one. I feel like you have to be at least partnered. And I'm not partnered, but I'm still applying, so one day I hope they let me. I feel like I gotta make more emotes. I gotta retweet more Twitch stuff. I mean, I went for a day in San Diego last year, and that was really cool. And I wonder, it's so shrewd to ask, but I want to ask people who did table there, was it worth it? Because for me, as much as I love going to cons and selling it, if it feels like the market for it isn't that strong, you know, I might have to wait till like next year when my funds are better. That's assuming they just let any Twitch person buy a booth to sell there, you know? It would be cool, because I love selling my artwork at cons. It gives me a place to sit all day. And I get to connect with people that maybe like my stuff. Or they're discovering it for the first time. Or they can just tell me how all my characters remind them of some other video game character. That's fine. I don't fault them. I can't help it. That's just how I know. I'm just like, well, at least it's doing something for someone. Let's see, I streamed for a week months ago, and you know what I found? If you just keep at it and stay friendly, you'll get those dedicated friendly viewers. I blatantly ripped LP-chan's attitude and streamed for tricks for inspiration. Aaron Chris, I'm gonna sue the pants off of you. How dare you spread positivity and good feelings in the art creative channels. I That's cool. Wow, that actually makes me feel pretty flattered. I didn't know you did that, Aaron. That was super cool of you. Now I'm blushing. That was back. Place to sit and also table to drink. If you're free, B or B. Maybe I drink too much. Hey, I know plenty of artists who like bring like a flask, or there's little hotel size, little mini bar things of whiskey or something. Oh, and they're all outstanding artists. I won't say names. To be honest, I'm so nervous at those things. It's just like, I don't... Like, it's so cool when a con actually does have a bar. I've been to cons where they are like little mini bars they set up, and it's just like, alright, yeah, it's like, here you go. It's like, oh, thank God. Because I don't go out much. If someone says something to me, my immediate response is to just sweat nervously and hope they go away. No, I'm kidding. I'm usually very friendly. I'm really bad with words. I'll probably stutter. But, you know, that's what comes with the territory of being socially reclusive. But I do it all so that I can draw more. Also, when I want to like feel less nervous at the table, if you guys ever see me at a convention, I tend to be drawing all the time. Because it's hard for me to look at people walking by the table, right? Because I always feel like, do I do it? I don't know if I'm just saying, if you come to my table, don't lean in close to talk to me so you don't smell anything on my breath. Your character looks just like that. Beer for me, but I'll take it. Yeah, I'm Southern California. I live in like the Orange County area. So now that the con's going to be in Long Beach, hey, that's a hell of a lot more doable than San Diego, you know? But yeah. That's why I'm also kind of wondering if I could get a table there, because since it's so close, you know, if you're doing conventions and you're going to a far convention, it's kind of like, well, I packed all my stuff, that's it. If I left like my freaking, you know, money box at my house and it's, you know, 4 hours away, it's like, you know, there's all my change for the day. I'm not gonna have any change for a while unless I just go find an ATM and, you know? It's so much easier when you like live close to the area. It's like, shit, well, it's an hour away, but I might as well go back for it because I need that. Birthday. This is a birthday song, but I like it. It's so kawaii. Sometimes it's good to know. So you can change it if it's too much like a big IP, but I think the first time I got that, someone said my Sailor Moon fan character looked like Amelia Earhart. Amelia Earhart, huh? Maybe that's where she went. I used to get creeped out by the story of Amelia Earhart. I'm like, well, what happened to her? What happened to her plane? Who was phone? You know, it was just like, it's a big mystery, but I think it's just like she probably crashed and her plane got sucked up and that's just it, right? I don't know. I like hearing stories about that. Unsolved mysteries. Selling strat for me is trying to talk and draw to every person. Yeah. I need to be able to talk to people, right? Because for me personally, when I go up to a table, if a person is looking at me, I tend to shy away and not really buy from there because I'm just like, oh, I don't want to be pressured to buy something. But I know if you make eye contact, it could increase your chances of someone just like going, oh, hey, nice art, or blah, blah, blah. And sometimes it's just kind of just like, I just got to get people to my table. I don't know how. And you always hope, well, my art will speak for itself. People will come by because of the art, but sometimes it's just like some people will look at your art from far away, and if you don't make that connection, they'll just never come by, and it's just like, shoot. My friend always has the strategy of like, no matter what they're wearing, you comment on it. Go, nice Gurren Lagann shirt. Gurren Lagann, I don't know how you pronounce it. Or, hey, cool cosplay. I like said game you're cosplaying as, or whatever, I don't know. I mean, try not to be super fake about it. Try to say something genuine if you can. But I don't know. I'm nervous about that too. I always feel like I'm bothering people. And there are so many cosplayers I'm just be like, holy shit, it's so good, you're so good. And I'm afraid that I'm bothering them, but to be honest, I don't know. I would love it if someone just said, holy shit, you're so good. So, I guess the point I'm trying to make is buy my stuff. No, I'm kidding. Only do that if you really want it. If you want to. Yeah, I'm about selling my art. Yeah, we could all be better sellers. That's just the thing. Most artists are not business people, right? That's the hardest part of art, selling it. Creepy warning. One of the users on Amelia Earhart made it to a deserted island but then died and they never found her body because she was eaten by hermit crabs. Wow. Alright. I mean, crabs are like scavengers, right? So, that's what I think. Something ate her. Maybe she fell right into a shark's mouth. I don't know. There are a bunch of places that they think she landed. A Japanese island that got killed by soldiers. South Pacific Island died of fatal crash wounds, died of impact. But they all seem... I mean, I think they all point to a crash of some sort, right? Like, we can all agree that she did not reach her destination somehow. Either she, you know, engine failure, running out of gas, someone shooting her out of the sky. Oof, who knows? So, just because we've never found anything, it makes it all the more mysterious. But, yeah, I hope whatever happened to her, it was quick and as painless as can be. Cool name too, Earhart. Even though it's pronounced, you know, it's spelled with an E, it's like, well, that's a great name for a pilot, Earhart. Her heart is in the air. Literally, as her plane exploded. Ah, poor Amelia Earhart. I used to have a big book of unsolved mysteries and a DVD set of unsolved mysteries, and I was like, I wish there were more mysteries. There are no new mysteries for me to solve. I don't know. Flying a plane sounds nutty, so, you know, no eye contact, drawing behind the table, please, like me and my art, but no pressure, guys. That would be great. Me and my art friends all agreed that if I could just stay in a room and just push out art from under the door and receive money and food in return, that'd be great. You know, if I don't have to go out and sell it, if I don't have to pitch my stuff, if I don't have to, you know, be my spokesperson, be my manager, be all that. It's so tough because it takes time away from drawing, you know? But it's so important. And so a lot of people think if I'm a good enough artist, I'll get a job. It's like, well, I think drawing is like, I don't know, 25% of the success. The rest is like how you're able to manage your time, how you're able to build, you know, relationships with, like, you know, business relationships, you know, and all that stuff. And it's just like networking. Networking is so exhausting, especially if you're a person who's not used to talking to people. But it's so vital to having your art stay afloat in the business atmosphere of it, you know? I mean, it's cool to, like, make friends in art, and maybe some of them could be like, hey, I know this guy, he's cool, and maybe we can hire him in the studio, like, something like that, but, because, you know, part of the business is, it's who you know, right? But most of the times we're not going to be so lucky to make friends with other people, so the best you can hope for is, like, business relationships, I think. Like, you know, like, hey, here's my contact info, in case you need me. I don't complain so much. Nah. Learning how to be professional. I wish there were more tutorials on that, just like how to conduct yourself as the artist and a businessman, or lady, whatever, business person. And it's hard. I mean, I've been doing freelance stuff for 7 years? I'm still learning. I have general, like, tips on just how to, like, you know, fake it till you make it. But some days you do, some years you do well, some years you don't. So, yeah, aliens, exactly, Cow Paints. I mean, what else? Aliens wanted Amelia Earhart. How could they not have? I couldn't sell water to a fish, to be honest. That's why I hope to make work. See, yeah, it's so tough. You ever watch, like, shows like Shark Tank where they have to pitch the product they're selling? That's how I feel when someone comes to my table and they're like, oh, what's this comic about? I'll be like, I don't know, you know. Alright, Togi Monster, thanks for stopping by. super nice of you to do that, and I gotta catch one of your streams again too. So everybody, if you haven't, check out Toki Monster. She has crazy good art, crazy good conversations too, and yeah, all around a stand-up citizen. She's cool. I thought Amelia Earhart was the one who discovered Island Paradise for Tupac and Aaliyah. I mean, probably offensive. That would make a lot of sense. That would make sense why we haven't seen them all in one spot. Shouldn't be laughing with her heart in the air. I mean, I don't know. I don't think you're terrible for laughing. I'm terrible for saying it, Aaron Chris. I have to go now. I might be back before you're done, but probably not. Thanks for welcoming me with open arms and all the cool conversation. Yeah, for sure, Calpaint. Sorry if I missed you guys when you said that, but yeah. Take care, you guys. Take care, Toki Monster. Take care, Calpaint. You guys are awesome. All are welcome to this stream. All are welcome in the light. Ooh, thanks for the follow, Interlink. I made it, but I forgot to read it afterwards. Oh my god, what was my IP about? Yeah. It's hard to pitch it simply, you know? It's like, especially if you only have like, that's the thing, if you don't want to spoil your story, right? It's like, the whole point of the story is there are these people that live in a dystopian future, and it turns out they're eating people this whole time. It's like, how do you pitch it without giving away the ending, you know? How do you pitch, like, alright, the story starts off normal, but, you know, things are not what they seem. It's like, how do you pitch it? Like, how to make an interesting hook is tough. How do you summarize your story in a very, like, 3 sentences, right? You should be able to, if you can, like, pitch something in 3 sentences, perfect. Because I tell you, aside from a few people at cons, most of them have places to go, right? I got a panel to go to, I gotta go grab lunch with someone, I gotta go do this, do that. You don't want to be one of those people, it's like, oh, here, let me tell you everything about it. Because sometimes I feel, I hate saying this, but sometimes I regret opening my mouth at some places where it's just like, I'm like, oh, cool, like, is this a print of blah, blah, blah? And then they'll be like, oh, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, they obviously like their artwork, and I love that they're passionate about it, but it's just like, oh, man, I'm sorry, buddy, but it's just like, I don't have time to, you know, and I'm not, it's hard because they always come off sounding like a dick, but it's like, at a con, you're limited. You have a limited amount of time to do things, so it's just like, you know, sorry to, like, I hate cutting you short, but, yeah. So just as a courtesy thing, if you do have a pitch for a comic, a book, an animation, try your best, write it out on an index card, like, rewrite it as many times as you want. How can I plainly and simply, but effectively, pitch this, you know? It's hard, I'm gonna say, it's just like, I don't know, like me, my original pitch for Lunar Cry, because I didn't want to give away the ending, was, you know, a girl has, you know, she's decided to become a vigilante, and she's kind of holding, like, a sidekick tryouts, you know? That's kind of how the first chapter is. She's kind of like, she's trying to find a sidekick, and you're kind of seeing one of her first nights, and, you know, you kind of see her sidekick, how, you know, they kind of go through with it, you know? So I don't know if I conveyed that well. I mean, the whole thing was supposed to feel like, you know, this girl gets, you know, caught up, you know, this girl's walking home through an alleyway, these guys kind of, like, come up to her, and they're like, hey, we're gonna get you, and then she's like, yeah. And as she's getting attacked, you see the main character, Madison, come down, and she's just like, hey, you punks, you better get back, and then she kind of kicks their butt, and then she's just like, alright, that was awesome. But then her sidekick was like, holy shit, you didn't tell me that my life was going to be in danger, and then she quits on her, right? So for me, I'm just like, well, this is a story about a girl who wants to become a vigilante, and she's trying to find a sidekick, you know? And to me, it's like, that might not be the most amazing pitch out there, but to me, I kind of like, to me, was like, it took something extraordinary, like she's a vigilante, she's gonna be a hero, and she's holding sidekick tryouts. It's like, oh, so it kind of makes it a little more mundane. I kind of like things like that, where, like, you know, Harry Potter. Well, they're all wizards, but now they have to go to school to learn magic, you know? Or it's like, I don't know, like, there was a time in my life where I just ate stuff like that up, right? No, I kind of like that. I like when people are able to take extraordinary things and to still make it mundane, but still extraordinary, like Men in Black and stuff like that, you know? But even then, that was like, it still could use a lot of work, but that was just me trying to sell the first chapter. I didn't want to explain that, oh, this was a story that, you know, this girl actually has this dark connected past to these experiments taking place on the moon, you know? The story is going to end up on the moon. for Lunar Cry, that's why it's called Lunar Cry, she has a connection to the moon. Like, her legs are made from metal from the moon, and she kind of has this weird resonation at night with it. She doesn't know why. And you kind of find out that her father was actually part of these twisted military experiments taking place on the dark side of the moon. Because in the far-flung future for Lunar Cry, I had it so that different nations would build like secret labs and stuff on the moon on the other side facing away from the Earth, because that was the only place to escape, like, you know, satellite info or whatever, right? You know, no one can really track what you're doing on the dark side of the moon, and there, like, military experiments were going on, and they developed these things that they found on the moon for it. So see, that's like long-winded, but to me it's like the whole story was going to end up with her on an epic fight on the surface of the moon somehow. How are they gonna get there? And then there's all this thing about the clones on there and all that stuff, and yada yada yada. But see, the whole thing is just like, I don't know, I was just trying to just sell it so simply. It's like, effectively, she wants to just fight crime. She's a really pissed off character. She felt wronged. So she takes out her aggression on just pretty much starting trouble and ending it, you know? So yeah, well, I'm sold. Fire. You replace spoilers with, but there's more to it than that. Yeah. Morgan Freeman. Lightsabers. Fanfic from Morgan Freeman replaces Samuel L. Jackson. You have to practice, to be honest. It takes a lot of work to polish it down to something catchy yet brief, the elevator pitch. Yeah, you know? It's like making, yeah, exactly, making a logo. It's like, how do I encompass this whole company or this whole story or whatever into the title? You know, how do I name my band? How do I do this? It's a lot of trial and error. I mean, currently that's kind of what I'm struggling with right now for this character I want to make for the art contest. Like, if I can't make this work out in my head, I kind of don't want to approach it at all, because I don't want to start another project that I'm never going to finish, you know? I have enough of those. So I would want so badly to make this character just be a one-shot if I did make her. But I was going to... Essentially, this character that I was going to make for the art contest, she was going to be very small. Kind of like a Thumbelina type of character. And I really like the idea of, like, doll-sized things, you know? Like, seeing the world from a tiny lens, you know? Kind of like The Borrowers or Secret World of Arietti or, you know, stuff like that. I didn't see Thumbelina growing up, funny enough, though. But it would kind of be a concept based on that, but there would be a dark twist to it. I kind of had the idea based off something I drew a long time ago, but I never posted it anywhere. Angsty Moon Warrior, yeah. She's a pissed off Sailor Moon. There are those, right? If I'm not mistaken. But, I wish I had my sketchbook on me. See, that's the thing. I don't know how much I want to get into this character I'm developing yet, because I don't want to tell you guys all about it, and then I end up just not even doing the contest, because then it feels like I'm wasting time. So, if you guys have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. Just let me know. We got like 30 minutes left, so speak now. Or forever don't. I've always had a thing for, like, mouse stories, though. Like, I really liked An American Tail growing up, you know, Five Goes West. A lot of books I read were from the viewpoints of mice, too. I think there's something really cool about, you know, a world within the world we know, you know? It's just like, there's a whole world right under right in the walls of your house, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like the ideas of, like, you know, these things that are, you know, let's just take the circumstance that bugs and rats live in, but let's just make it a human, and it just becomes a little more, I don't know, becomes like Ratatouille. I do like Ratatouille. That's like One of my absolute favorite Pixar movies. Okay, how long did it take you to understand drawing hands at a way that you're comfortable with? Took me a while. I'm gonna be honest, man. It isn't until maybe this year that I kind of am getting a little more comfortable with them. But see how they're still kind of like claw-like and like wiggly and not really complete? I feel like I'm finally just getting the idea of how to like just draw the feel of them, you know? Oh, Redwall? Yeah, Rip Red. That's a good one. I love Redwall. I love Poppy. Stories about mice can turn out pretty epic, I guess. But it took me a long time to draw hands in a way that I felt were organic and natural to me, you know? So, I guess if we had to do a countdown from when I was literally trying to draw them, it took me 7 years. And I am not even comfortable with them completely. Like, sketching them I'm okay with, but when it comes to defining them and detailing them, it's always like, alright, let me just pull up a reference to make sure that I have, like, you know, that they don't look broken. Because when you're drawing them as a sketch, you can be more expressive, right? So it's hard to rein in on that expressiveness when you have to lay down final lines or something. Because when it's a sketch, you don't have to be so precise. People can just capture, you can just draw the feeling of what it's supposed to look like. So my problem is when I actually have to come detailing it, you know, how to make that look as expressive, but also right. Because the sketch is normally not right for me when it comes to drawing hands. So, yeah. Martin the Warrior. Martin and Matthias. Should do the challenge I'm doing next month, drawing 3,000 hands. Holy shit, fire! I would go insane, but hey, if you draw something 3,000 times, you're definitely gonna get better at it. Or at least get consistent with it, I'll say that. Because if you draw them the same way for 3,000 times, you're definitely gonna be consistent at drawing them that way, you know? Oh man. See this stuff right here, the silhouette process, it's so like tedious, but it's so like important, you know? That's what I mean when I was saying earlier, it's like, you know what, I think I'll do like the sketching stuff because most people respond to sketches faster than when I paint because for one, it's a slower process, and two, I feel like lines directly communicate exactly what I want in the fastest way possible, you know? I mean, if I was a painter, I'd probably just skip the whole line process entirely, but, you know. I heard another artist do it, can't remember who, and I'm like, I want to do that. Yeah, do it. One of the things I want to get better at drawing this year is food. I mean, I love food, but I normally don't ever have the chance to really work on it, you know? I realized that when I was rendering that glass of wine in that one Final Fantasy commission I did. I was like, you know what? I should really do more food. I would love to do that. I mean, I would get hungry the whole time, but eh. I had another artist do it, can't remember. Oh wait, no, Violet. That just popped up under your message, I started reading as the whole thing. But thanks, Violet. Watching Shokugeki no Soma makes me want to be a pro at drawing food. Oh man. I don't know what that is, but I can only imagine. I was watching Food Wars for a while. I used to watch Yakitate Japan and Michelin 5-star whatever. Yeah, if you could draw food looking good, I think I got that from Ratatouille too. If you could draw food looking good, oh man, you definitely get my attention. So, I don't know, food could look really, you know, beautiful. And if you could draw food good enough to eat, oh man, I think you could definitely find a job doing something, you know? I like those gourmet mangas, you know, where the story is about like, I'm a chef, I gotta get better at, you know, cooking, or my restaurant, I gotta get better at it. And just watching people make food and present food, so nice. Always makes me hungry. Oh yeah, Food Wars is Shokugeki? Okay, gotcha. Excuse me. Artists don't eat, they get nutrients from the stuff they draw. Wouldn't that be great? Do you guys ever remember this kid's book called The Purple Crayon? And it's about this little bald kid, he finds a purple crayon, and whatever he draws with it, it becomes real. I always thought, man, I would love that. But he would literally draw anything he needed. I think he would draw food sometimes and just eat it. He would draw like dragons and stuff, and I remember really liking that book as a kid. I'm like, wow. I wish I had a magical crayon. He would just draw a door and it would take him somewhere. That was all cool. I think there were several books of that. Almost done. These are times where I wished I had, like, wouldn't it be nice if I had an assistant? Then I wouldn't have to deal with the tenuous, tedious stuff. Then I could just focus all my efforts on just making it look cool. That's essentially what I did, you know? When I was an assistant inker, I just took up all the stuff that needed to be done, but it was also kind of boring. And the boss took care of the stuff that was the most difficult stuff, you know, like drawing like the figures and stuff, you know, inking the figures, inking the faces. Because those needed the most detail no matter what. Because whenever you're reading a comic, you're more than likely going to focus more on the characters before you notice the background art, so they took priority. Alright. Remember a cartoon about Chalk that did the same thing. So, Pichan, you know the character from my commission? Saffron has dreams about being a superhero in which whatever she paints comes to life. That's her superpower. It's pretty cool. So she's like a Talum or Palum? No. She's like that one character in Final Fantasy VI. Sorry, I'm totally doing that thing you hate. But whenever I think of a character that paints and what she paints becomes real, I always think of that right away. That'd be cool. So she's a superhero? That's interesting, because I keep thinking in my head she's kind of like, you know, kind of Renaissance era, like, or like medieval Renaissance era, kind of like Tangled, you know? So is she in modern times? Or is she just very, like, kind of hippie looking? Her superhero name is Contessa de Art. And when the dream twists and all superheroes get into magical girls, she becomes Contessa Crayola. Aww, cute. Will be the ally card to my Sarah's Victoria? Alright, I mean, I got a long list of people I want dead, Rip Red. I don't know if you really want all that blood on your hands. But, sure, let's do it. Alright. Magic. Let's throw some magic down. Whoosh. Yeah, right, like that'll cut it. Giving it a dark background since I'm doing magic. I'm gonna have to want to, you know, do a lot of particle effects, you know. So I kind of have to make all the colors kind of like a swirling motion, you know? See, these are, I'm kind of just messing with, like, this brush kind of has like this you know, this dual colored thing to it. I'm just kind of throwing down quick shapes and colors to get an idea of how to expand further on them. So, this is the fun part. Realm, that's her name. Nah, I don't mind, I definitely want the trope route with these characters. Live to serve. I need assistant too, I'll pay an internet high fives. Ew. Those never lose their value. Saffron and her sisters definitely live in more of a Renaissance fantasy world, but when they fall asleep, they wake up in modern-day superhero world. Oh, that's pretty cool. I always like it when games or stories in general can combine two time periods in some way, you know? So that's cool. I noticed one day what if the sisters are superheroes, and I loved it so much that I had to. They must, like, have dreams, and they were just like, what the hell? What are these tall stone things? And they're looking at, like, buildings and stuff. It'd be cool. Maybe she could do vines. Like this one could be like plants growing out. I'm gonna mess with that. I'm gonna put on transfer. I'm not gonna use transfer. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to mess with the diameter. I'm not gonna mess with size jitter then. Maybe I'll give it a little more spacing. Okay, and then size jitter. I want to do the size jitter for stuff like this because, you know, plants aren't exactly perfect, so giving it a little jitter can make it just feel a little bit more organic, you know? Ugh. Actually, I hate to do this, but I gotta take a quick break, you guys. Give me 5 minutes. I've been having to go to the bathroom for the last 2 hours, so sorry. I'll be right back. Oh wait, you know what? I should put BRB. I will use I'll just use a regular brush. BRB. Let's give it a little outer glow effect. Whoa, look at all that magic. And there you go. Alright, I'll be right back. Please don't leave. Be right back. Hey Manatee Bags. Should have late in time for BRB. Well, now I'm B. Should have left a screenshot of Ronaldo from Jurassic Park. LP run. Oh, I should do that, Telvin. See, you got great ideas. Sorry, I had weird, great work, Riprad. Great work. Alright. Let's get it out of here. Alright, what other magical effects we could do really quick? What do we got here? Magical effects. I definitely have to make it look kind of like a more hazy galaxy one. So maybe this one I'll replace. Put just like a... Let's see if I can mess with the texture here. Dodge. Contrast. Mess with the scale of it. Let's see what that does. Yeah, anime. Never get tired of this music. I really won't. Thanks, Rita. That was the whole point I was going for. That whole, like, this kind of, like, chibi Weird Italian Renaissance look. I don't trust anyone in a mask. No one should. That's why people are scared of clowns. They can't see their face and read their emotions. We're all just being prejudiced. Remember when they had all those like clown sightings? I thought that was like pretty funny. I know like some people didn't. You know, I'm not really scared of clowns. I would just be scared of like the fact that someone I can't see their face. So I never had a thing for clowns specifically. I know some people do. I understand it though. You know. So let's make this. This one could be kind of like, almost like a violet, you know? Violet, you're turning violet. Make it more blue. Color dodge. So that could be like for the purple color. It's kind of like a dark, nebulous, whatever. Best BRB meme ever, and I just came up with it. Love hot purple with blue. What about Vague? His face is a mask. I do realize he is a masked man. That's why his name is Vague. He's so vague. If he kept the mask on, if I met him, I would be alarmed. But I would just be alarmed. I'll be like, well, you make sick art. There is no way you can be a serial killer. No way. That's pretty cool that he can like do that though, you know? I always feel like there was this one artist I like called Puddinhead who was who would always wear like a gas mask when he did art for these like drawing DVDs, and I was like, man, what a cool guy. I don't know if I could draw with the gas mask on, but whatever. Hey, Calpaint. But I like it when people can keep a certain amount of anonymity to their stuff, you know? Like, because some people just don't ever want people to know. It's like, I don't want people to know what I'm doing, you know? And that's cool. I wish I had the courage. Alright, I'm gonna add a little quick shading to this. Let me just reduce the hardness. Is anyone else going to TwitchCon? Yeah, it's cool saying it. Anonymity. What did I say? Anonymity. 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 I think I was saying anonymity. Anonymity. Fuck it. Is the spiral in the staff a changed element? Oh, I don't know. I'm just going through different magical effects in general. So this one was kind of like for purple, I was going to do like dark nebulous galaxy. And this one is just something for green, I was going to do like plants and stuff. So I'll figure it out. Since most of the colors are supposed to represent a, you know, an effect. Like this one I think will be easy to do. Let me do this really quick. I was trying to find a quick way to do water one day, and it's still kind of like cheesy looking, but I don't know. To me, it kind of gets the job done. See, I'm not the best painter, right? I'm still learning how to paint, so all this stuff is like, you know, still new ground for me, you know? So let's see if I can do what I did before. I'll go to Bevel Emboss, put the multiply color to like a blue, make it like a green, kind of like a this kind of blue, yeah. And make the overlay, I'll keep it white. Kind of make it gooey. And for me, this was like the quick way to try to like get water effects out really quick, you know? It still needs, you know, work, but yeah. We'll see. This will be like sploosh. This water's splooshin' out of her. Gross. Let's do a fuzzy brush. Let's see how that would work. And like whoosh. Anonymity. Anonymity. Yeah, exactly, Faya. Exactly. Hopefully we're strong drinking of audacious babe. Exactly like Dread Pirate Roberts. Yeah, I mean, I would say Rip Rad is the spitting image of Dread Pirate Roberts. Definitely uses water, which is the goal, yeah. I mean, I'll still detail it later, but for now I kind of want to get the general shape of this magic, and then I could go in and just, like, you know, detail it out and get it through. So, so we got purple, green, blue. This will be a red, but I kind of want to keep it a spirally kind of thing. I should make this kind of more of a, like a fire. Fire. I'll take this and put it... Yeah, I'll keep that there for now. I don't know what to do with this magic. Ooh, I know what I could do with this one. Do I have a good tree somewhere? Maybe I can manipulate this twig thing into something. Alright. Shouldn't do the solid one. Gonna make this kind of like lightning. That's another thing too, I just don't want everything to look like the same brush stroke over and over, you know? I kind of wanted things to look kind of a bit varied. So even though it's like, you know, this brush is obviously not supposed to be this big, it gives me something to work with, you know? So let's do a little outer glow. Let's make this lightning. Make this the yellow. For now, we'll just do it like this. Let's do normal. And just give some more depth to it. I don't know. Alright, Talden. Air for the fan brush? It could be. Maybe that's what that thing could be. That's the thing though, air. Could I translate that as yellow? I guess I could. How could I translate that? How could I show air? But yeah, thanks for stopping by, Talden. Always a pleasure. Hey, Fifth Son. Water just splooshing out of her. Yeah, Fifth Son. You came in at a right time. That's a good quote to take from me out of context. Maybe I can use this brush? Start rotating. I wonder how I could do that. How could I do air? Hey, Fifth Son. Great timing, of course. Yeah, I missed the coloring. Was that a clipping mask? For this particular one? No. I used a big brush and kind of just like tried to get the stroke I wanted in like, you know, one go. And just kind of like cutting it into the piece after I've laid it down. And I'm just kind of like erasing on the inside to make it almost like a... yeah. That's the only thing with air. What color can I give it? Because the blue kind of already goes to the water. It works as air for an element. I couldn't think of clouds. Yeah. I mean, I'll keep that thing there just in case. For now, lightning, because lightning could have worked as blue or like yellow. Don't worry, Miku. I'll play your song again later. I do like the idea for air for fan, though. I mean, it only makes sense to me. Although, I don't know if the weapon she gets messes with, like, the magic she can use, you know? So, let me mess with the... there we go. So I don't have to press so hard to get the, there we go. Ooh, I know what to do here. Whoops. Wrong one. Okay, I'm gonna do this to try to make a burst effect, so let's see if it'll work out. Let's just kind of put this stuff out here more. Okay, so let's give this the same effect. But for this, let's go up to filter and go to blur. And I think it's radial blur. Alright, let's do zoom. Let me see if I do that. I gotta select it and see if this works, because I've never done it for a place this concentrated. Oh, not Gaussian. Blur, radial blur, zoom. Sort of a lot. Let's see how that works. It's kind of giving a spark effect. Oh, what's that say? Do you see Diva skin for Chinese New Year? Let me see. Darn it! No, I didn't get to see it all along because you posted a broken link. Let's see this link. Oh my god, that's so cute! I'm so glad she finally has a freaking new skin. Wait, is it a skin or just something they did for Chinese New Year? Why did they do that with her and not May? May is Chinese. That's super cute. I love it. She's wearing that little hanbok. But I love the way her neck is all like painted. It reminds me of like those like that friendship kind of gate that they have in like Koreatown in LA. I do love Gaussian blur. Yeah, it's centered on the canvas. Aw, I think it looks so cute. I love how the windows look like it's also part of like, you know, those kind of ancient kind of, you know, gate things. Aw, I like it. Is there one of May? Can you post it really quick, actually? Yeah, let me see May. Because I wasn't really too happy with her Christmas one. Ah. I'm gonna have to see more of May's skin before I can make a actual, her little lucky envelopes or whatever are kind of covering up the middle of her outfit, which is what I want to see. I like how they did paint Diva's mech as like a piece of architecture, though. Architecture. I guess it is a texture on it. With May, I'm gonna have to see more of her outfit. I'm assuming that since she's Year of the Rooster, that's kind of a rooster tail coming off the back of her. I'm not sure though. Her hair is cute. Her face is cute, but I want to see more of her outfit. But yeah. Yeah, her little robot should be 100% lantern. It should be a chicken. Hey Mikey, how's it going? Hey, I love Gaussian blur too. I use it a lot. I might use it at the end of all this. Alright, let me just do some quick quick lighting here to really sell that these colors are kind of affecting the lady casting them, you know? Even though these are just sketches, I know I'm just creating more work for myself with this, but I really want these images to like look cool, you know? If I don't make these images look cool, there's less of a chance that it's going to look cool down the long run, you know? I'm not trying to say I'm so important to the process, but I think every process should look as cool as you can make it, right? Some obviously are not going to look as like developed as others, but I just hope someone will look at these sketches and go, hey, like that's like actually something I would put money behind, you know? So even if it's just adding some lighting to the, you know, something that's just a line art, I think it goes a long way for like an indie thing. Just to give it a little more depth, you know, because when it's like that, you know, or completely blank. And a little booty. Yeah, I want to see. I'm glad that they're both getting skins because I always thought Diva and May were not getting enough love in the skin department, you know? So I'm excited. Yeah, on Monday I didn't have a stream, and I was gonna make up for it on Tuesday, but then I ended up having a family visiting, and well, no, I ended up having family visiting on Monday, so I had to cancel. And then I tried to make for it on Tuesday, but I didn't have the time for it, so I felt bad for that. So yes, this stream is the first stream for this week, so yeah. I mean, you caught it in time. I am gonna have to like log off soon though. So you came in at the tail end of it. So before I wrap up the stream, are there any questions you guys have? As always, I would love to answer them. I would love to give you the best answer possible. Just please keep your questions a little PG, please. You animals. No, I'm kidding. You guys are so nice. You never ruffle my feathers or anything, or if you do, not for long. So I'm really thankful to have like really cool people on my stream, you know? You guys mean so much to me. And I do mean that. Now I sound sarcastic, but I can't help it. That's just the tone of my voice. Hope you guys had a good stream with me though. I mean, I always enjoy my stuff with my stuff. I enjoy learning how to talk with you guys, but you know, I always appreciate your guys' time for sure. The fact that when you guys come out consistently, or a lot of the times, you know, makes me happy. So I hope I can keep you guys happy with the art that I do. Or at the very least, talk about cool things with you guys. That rare LP Chan stream. Yeah, hopefully it'll be more on schedule. It's been really weird around freaking New Year's and stuff, so yeah. Yeah, thanks, Calpain. What's my favorite candy? Chocolate. I love dark chocolate Raisinets. That's like one of my favorite. That's like, I don't know. When I was a kid, I was like, how dare they try to hide a fruit in my chocolate? Now I'm getting older, I'm like, yes, I love raisins. I love raisins in dark chocolate, so that. Dark chocolate Raisinets. How did I make that vine brush? I think Din Money actually made this vine brush. I just adjusted it, you know? But basically, when it's all by itself, you know, this one is like here, I'll show you really quick. So like say this brush right here, it's like it's just I think Din Money just took a, you know, he painted, you know, this, you know, and he just set it to repeat. So what you could do is, you know, you just take a brush and then you just do the same thing. So it's just like, I'm gonna make a vine, there's gonna be a leaf here, you know. You could also just take a photo of a leaf if you want to be super, you know, super lazy. So you do that and you kind of just like try to make it reach all the way to the end of the image, you know? And he kind of like tapered the edges so that they would blend in a bit more. I believe he did. So this is just like the rough version of it. I'd always say if you ever want to figure out how they made a brush, check out what the brush looks like with its settings off, you know? See what it looks like just as a stamp, you know? Come on, Photoshop. This one. This one right here. Okay, thank you. So let's do a little white in there. And then let's save this, go to Edit, and then go down to Define Brush Preset. Here you go. You can name it if you want. And so now we have this little guy right here. And so if you go to spacing, to set it to like that, go to Shape Dynamics. When you put Control, go down and set it to Direction. And pen pressure. And we can set the pen pressure to this diameter, mix up the size jitter so that it doesn't look perfect. Mess with the spacing. And then you got a vine brush, you know? This one's obviously not as polished, but same principle. There you go. Easy peasy. Breezy. Beautiful. Cover girl. Yeah. Small canvas hurts, yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's like with me, I keep my brushes to like an inch. You know, square inch, you know. It's just like, if you make a brush too big, it's for me, it slows down my computer. So, you know. Yeah. Yeah, take a peek behind the preferences, as they say. I show up enough to recognize names, but I don't know if to be recognized. What? You show up all the time, Aaron Chris. I don't know, enough. I mean, I recognize your name. I mean, so I think as long as I recognize your name, we're cool. I count you as family. You're all my family. Do you guys have any... Can I borrow some money? I'm kidding. Where'd I get my prints printed? Currently, I get them printed at Costco because I kind of like the photo texture they use. I like it, and you can get prints printed really quickly. So if you're ever in a pinch, it's like, hey, you don't have to order them, you know, online. You could just, you know, get them. I'm looking for a new place to print them though, just because it's like, the thing about Costco is you can't order bulk prints, right? Costco's good for if you're gonna order maybe like, what, 10 prints of something, small orders, stuff like that. Things you need printed in like an hour or two. Like, you know, you just go to their photo center and you click, you know, print enlarged they're not bad. I mean, I've never heard anyone complain about the prints they get from me, so yeah. Slow riffle. Though it's still out on me, Cal Paint. You're all cool with me, guys. Your art is great, combos are fun too, always a pleasure. Thanks, Tempered Blade. Just wondering if you might do an emote making stream. I want to make an emote making stream. My emote's too tiny. Look at this thing. I mean, we can learn together how to do it, you know? Look at this little emote. You can barely read that it says draw. So yeah, I would love to do an emote stream maybe next week, because I want to get more emotes out there so people can see me. I claim Aaron Chris, I claim Tempered Blade, I claim Mikey Maru, I claim Faya, I claim Riprad, I claim... Who the fuck else is on here? Pokemon Mio, I claim you. Riprad, Mikey, did I say that? Fifth Son. You are all claimed, we are not lost anymore. Everything will be okay. Yeah, and Cal's new, but Cal gave me references, so Cal's cool. Yeah, you're all chill people. I mean, I really like, what I like best about streaming with you guys is like, I'm not just drawing, I'm talking, and I'm actually exercising my mind and talking skills well. I still have to build my vocabulary, but you know, that'll come with time. So, I love making brushes, don't have Photoshop on this computer though. Yeah, making brushes is so much fun, you know? Once you get the hang of it. So yeah. Thanks, Faya. Made a Lunacy mode for a study last year before, but I was never able to do anything with it. You should have a draw along art fast stream where you choose a character and we all draw it. If you guys would be willing to participate in that, I would totally love to do that, you know? I mean, I want to have a more interactive stream with like people drawing alongside with me. Sometimes people do, but I wish there was a way that, you know, it's almost just like an art hangout thing, like I don't know, where people could draw with me, and it'd be fun. One day because, you know, I want to inspire people, or at least encourage them to keep drawing. You know, you have people that come in and go, I don't know, I gave up drawing, and it's just like, oh no, another fallen soldier. Because in the end, I would want art to be fun for everybody, you know? So, we'll see. I draw a few, but mine's traditional, so, I mean, you can still draw and take a picture of it. But, I don't know, I love it when people share art. I love when people want to talk about their art. So when something comes in and goes like, hey, look at my art, I'll be like, oh, I'll give it a shot, I'll take a look. some people are more polite than others about asking about it, so if you want an artist to look at your art, be polite, and if they say they can't, don't push it, because usually they're probably saying the truth, they can't. They got things to do. So anyways, you guys, this was a pretty cool stream. Unfortunately, I didn't get to coloring the Final Fantasy thing, but I kind of got this started. The most menial things take up so much time, gosh, I tell you. So anyways, I'll continue this off stream. I gotta get this out to a client, probably finish it tonight or tomorrow morning. So yeah. Multi-photoshopping would be awesome. Discord would at least let you host everyone's pictures if they draw along with you. Yeah, that's true. I need to get Discord. Your stream hosting constantly draw too, so that's a plus. Helps me get better at doing it. Aw, it does? Oh, that makes me so happy, Tempered Blade. Yeah, Faya is drawing now. Faya is on fire. Offensive, I'm drawing pictures in my mind. Yeah, that's chill too, Offensive. It's a productive stream. Thanks! There's so many people that say they give up real discouraged when they see another artist's work. That's so sad. Yeah, I know. I mean, I feel like that too sometimes, and I wish there were ways that when I'm drawing with people, I could give better advice on how to, like, keep drawing, you know? But that'll be all for another stream, because I'm super hungry and I gotta cook my dinner. But, you know, thank you guys so much for the stream. I'm so thankful so much for everyone's time on here, so, you know, I'll catch you guys next time. Friday should be on. Getting a little scratchy in the throat, but hopefully it doesn't develop into something, so yeah. Got a frame from a caravan thing done, which is breaking my brain a few hours ago. Nice, Aaron Chris. So yeah, you guys, have a great night. Again, thank you so much. I'm pretty sure I've been saying the same thing 3 times in a row. I'm going in circles here. If you want to see my art, I have some slightly older stuff here. Alright, I'll check it out. I'll check the link. I'll have to check it out after the stream. Because I do have to get dinner going. But yeah, thanks so much, you guys. Everyone that followed, thank you so much. Everyone that chatted, everyone that draws along with the stream. You're all okay in my book, and I will see you all on Friday. Have a great evening, have a great Thursday, and I'll see you later. Have a good night. Aw, thanks.